Hey everybody, PT here, back with midweek messages. I wanted to make sure that I talked to you this week in the middle of our new series, our new summer series, Rebuilding the Temple. I can't tell you how excited I am to see you guys meal photos, to see your smoothie photos, to see your exercise equipment, all the things that you've been sending to myself and PRG to let us know that you're on board, that you're engaging, all the conversations, everybody talking about what they're having, what they're trying new, what meals they're having, how their salads are going, asking questions. You all, we are doing this together. We're rebuilding the temple together. I went back and I watched the Sunday sermon, and I can only imagine how you guys were feeling in the congregation and the pews when we were talking, when I was discussing the more clinical side of the spiritual issues, wellness, and all of the discourse and all the information about dopamine and what the effects it has on your brain, and what happens when you begin to wear that neurotransmitter down, the receptors down, and it can't take in all of those things, all the things, the mechanics that go along with the neurotransmitter. You guys, I know that Sunday got a little clinical, but there is no topic that's off limits when it comes to things of the spirit. God has a place in your physical body as well as in your spirit, has a place in your mind, has a place in your heart. So we don't just get here and just talk and sing songs and pray together, but we end up leaving God out of our natural life. So we're doing this together. Remember, one of the things I want to make sure I point out to you all is all the information about, let's say, your sugar intake right now. I'm not going to talk about every single subject, but I know that's one thing that many of us struggle with, and that's that sweet tooth, and overindulging in those things. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and a lot of things we just simply don't know. Going cold turkey on sugar can be very difficult for some people, so I'm going to give you just a couple of tips that I did in my own life. I'm only going to tell you some things that work for me. Now, they only work for me. I am not a diabetic. I'm not pre-diabetic. I don't know all the rules that are in place for that, but I will tell you, watch out for and avoid high fructose corn syrup. I'll try to eliminate that when you look at your drinks, particularly your drinks, but it is in other things as well. And you turn that label around, you see high fructose corn syrup, remove it, get out, don't even go down that road, okay? I guarantee you that there's a natural version of whatever that juice is or whatever it is you're having or that you've gotten used to. Once you get rid of the high fructose corn syrup, baby step yourself down to low sugar things, okay? If you can't go completely sugar-free at this time, next step, low sugar. And then next step will be sugar-free things, okay? What you're able to do, some people don't believe this, but it is so true. You can reset your taste buds. You can acquire taste. A lot of times people say, well, that thing has an acquired taste. Yes, you acquired it. One thing I know to be true about the people of God, okay? This is the spiritual portion. For those of you like, you know what? Can't you just talk about God a little bit? I'm going to talk about God a lot. You, as a creation of God, as a child of God, you were created to be free. You were created to be abundant. You were created to have overflow. You were not created for limitation, which is why you buck against, you resist, you push against when you're told no. I'm not saying that the people of God should not be told no and know how to take a no and how to live within restrictions. But I will say one thing. Human nature, divine nature, is to not work with, the divinity doesn't work well with limits, because divinity spirit is limitless. Can't be fit into a box. So I'm going to give you some tactics, or a suggestion rather, when you are trying to change your taste buds and trying to change your diet, or trying to open yourself up to new tastes and new flavors and new experiences, new foods and drinks. Don't focus so much on, when you Google and you start looking up things I shouldn't eat, things I shouldn't drink, things that contain dopamine that I need to stay away from. Don't even do that search. Look for things that, healthy things. Look for healthy dopamine substitutions, or look for things that will give you a yes. Note this, one of the stories that we talked about on Sunday was about Eve. When God restricted Adam and Eve's consumption of food in the garden, he said, he didn't start off with, don't touch that tree, look, when you have all these things here, he started with, I have given you access to all of the fruits, all of the trees in the garden, except this one. The focus was never supposed to be on the limitation. It was supposed to be on all of the things that you do have access to, okay? There are speaking as someone who has, throughout my entire life, gone through transformations. I grew up in the South, and I grew up on the fatty foods. I grew up on the high sugar foods. When people look at me now, I guess they think I've always eaten the way I eat and exercise the way I do or anything like that. That's not always been the case. I grew up in the same basic environment as most Southerners, okay? But I ended up, as I knew more, I did do better. As I knew better, I did do better. And I've made gradual changes throughout my life, so I know what's possible. I know what's possible. There are so many alternatives out there, especially nowadays, for the flavors that you are used to, and for the that are completely healthy. Once you baby step yourself down from such high sugary foods, your taste buds do change. And once you've taken your high fructose corn syrup out of it, once you've gone down to low sugar, and then now you've gone out to sugar free, you get to the point where your taste buds are sensitive to sweetness and sugar. And ask anybody who's done this before. When you go back to, when you taste something that is high in sugar, it's too sweet for you. It's too sweet for you. You'll find that even sometimes natural sweeteners in fruit, just naturally occurring sweetness in fruit, are sometimes a little too sweet for you. PRG has to dilute a lot of the things now that she drinks because the palate has changed and is more it's more organic now. And the things that were already not good for you, your body is telling you. Your body's talking to you all the time about what's good for you and what's not. And however, we've now become tolerant. And so we don't pick up on the signals as much. What we're trying to do now with rebuilding the temple is reset those signals. We're trying to reset those sensors. We're trying to reset what we're going to begin to call your what are we going to call it? Kind of like your guidance system, so that it can tell you now it can begin to tell you that doesn't feel so good, that doesn't taste so good, I don't think that's good for us, and we begin to listen. Okay, I know we got a lot of work to do, but we've got a full summer to do it. You all make sure you stay tuned. Come and be with us on Sunday as we continue our series. Save the date, June 17th. That's when we're going to have the one and the only James Patrick come in and do our praise and fitness at the Way Columbia. So I want you to jump on board, get in there with us, find us on Facebook at the Way Columbia. Just click on this video right here and like our Facebook page. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, stay in the know. We're going to be sending out all the time different tips, recipes, strategies, and motivating things to keep us all on track for this summer. All right, let's rebuild this temple together. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.